Imagine transforming a blighted, trash-ridden piece of land into a thriving, beautiful food garden.
My family couldn't afford a good, healthy lunch. I had to go to McDonald's. I had to go to Jack in the Box. We get the 2 tacos for $1.
In most of the city and the region, there aren't farmers markets that people can access.
We spend about $90 billion a year in Los Angeles County on health care services, most of which is treating people after they've already become sick.
As many of us have come to recognize, our food system is out of balance.
It is exceedingly unfair to human life, and it is threatening the planet itself.
People are deprived of affordable and healthy and local food.
Workers' rights being violated throughout the food chain.
The overuse of chemical inputs.
How do we work collectively to start big fundamental shifts in our food system in order to make changes?
Not just to make it better, but to make it more equitable.
It's important that we bring people together around the table in a new way.
The LA Food Policy Council is a convener of different stakeholders in the food system. So you have people from farmers all the way to policymakers.
It's a way to bring together everyone who cares about transforming our food system to one that's more sustainable, just, fair, and healthy.
To learn from one another and to build more of an overall strategy of how we can make progress.
Everybody is welcome and can contribute to stimulate new projects and programs and policy.
Raise your hands if you work in the public sector, if you work in government. Now raise your hand if you work in the nonprofit sector.
The biggest shifts, I think, are in the area of procurement.
Large institutions, they really have no understanding or knowledge of where their food is coming from.
We created the Good Food Purchasing Program. When you buy food, you're basically voting with your food dollars for the kind of food system that you want. So if you're buying the cheap, mass-produced food, you're voting for that system. If you buy whole food, if you buy food from farmers markets, you're voting for supporting the smaller farmers. So we can all do that with our food dollars. What if major institutions started doing that with their millions of dollars?
Start shifting their food purchases towards suppliers that support their values.
And start signaling to the marketplace what kind of food system they want.
If we are able to leverage that type of mass fork, we can change an industry.
With LA Unified School District adopting the Good Food Purchasing Program, we've already seen an increase in the amount of purchasing from local farmers to the tune of $12 million. We've seen growth in jobs.
Everybody should have access to the same type of food.
There are certain neighborhoods that don't even have a supermarket.
How do we get more healthy food into the retailers in our neighborhoods?
The Healthy Neighborhood Market Network, a business and leadership development training series for corner store owners, which came out of one of our working groups.
Helping these small corner stores transform in such a way that they can accommodate fresh, wholesome foods.
We might connect someone who's just gotten into the business of running a store with someone who's been in the business for 2 or 3 decades.
So that they have access to the opportunities, expertise, skills, and resources that they need to be a successful business that brings healthy food to communities.
Uno de mis deseos es poderles ofrecer algo a todos los estudiantes, algo diferente a que son los snacks regulares.
It begins to uncover the leaders that already exist in our neighborhoods, to not only learn together, but even maybe in the future buy products together.
This is how we get scaled impact.
Several of the accomplishments of the Food Policy Council grew out of the working group aspect.
Over 1,000 individuals that have participated in these various work groups over time.
Healthy food retail and food equity, sustainable seafood, school gardens.
Support farmers markets in accepting food stamp benefits.
One that I'm really closely tied to is the movement to legalize street vending. It's a coalition of over 50 organizations that started on one of our work groups.
Urban agriculture has generated a ton of activity and excitement.
Allowing people to grow food in their own backyards, rather at their own homes, right, in schools, in community spaces.
We've been able to get a parkway ordinance passed that allows for the growth of food in the space between the curb and the sidewalk.
The other great opportunity that's emerging is food waste.
Diverting food from landfills and creating something better from it, like high-quality compost.
There are people working on different issues, but they're interconnected.
None of this happens without building those relationships and allowing those relationships to interact with different levers of power.
We need to create a new type of food system that's regional, more distributed, and works something like the way a village works.
Grow food in a sustainable way, locally scaled, economically viable, and not dependent upon labor that's being exploited.
There's a lot of what people are used to doing that you have to work against that makes it hard to make these changes.
It sounds like, oh my God, that's so far off, but does it have to be?
We really have to act now, and with a complete sense of urgency and a complete sense of commitment to what our best futures can be.